What is up, Buff Nation? Welcome into DNVR Buffs Primetime. We are presented by Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. Jake Schwanitz here. Nikki Edwards joins the show again.
I know. I just can't leave.
I know. We can't get rid of you.
I know. Anytime you text me, I'm like, yep, let's do it. But it also worked out because I had this day off. Like, when you text me, it always just, like, seems to work out. And love being with you guys, and I like talking about football. So it's going to be a good Wednesday.
Let's go.
Vibes are high. I'm wearing my dad's Long Beach State jersey.
Yeah, you're dripping.
Number 32. The Banana Slugs.
Yep. Hell yeah.
So, yeah, feeling funky and fresh.
Out here representing.
Yeah.
You're coming in at the perfect time, though. Dre killed it the last 2 days. Everyone in the chat, round of applause for Andre's performance the last 2 days. Absolutely amazing. That guy killed it. Now you're here to kill it.
Yeah.
And we have plenty of stuff to talk about.
I know. We have a lot to talk about.
Alyssa, I sent you a tweet in Buffs Assignments. It's the full list of all Pac-12 first and second team. Of course, the big news, Travis Hunter. He makes it. And hasn't even played it down yet. And he's a first teamer, a multi-first teamer for the Pac-12 at DB and at all-purpose player. Not at wide receiver yet, though, but he got an honorable mention, I think.
Yeah. I think seeing that just shows that the community, the media community, really recognizes his talent. Even though he hasn't even played a snap in the Pac-12 yet, you can still see his talent and potential from what he previously did. Like, and even in like practice too, like that guy's a blanket. Like, yeah. Oh my goodness, he's so solid at corner, and I think the rest of the Pac-12 media sees that and his ceiling and what he can really be. I think that's why he made the team, and I think that's why a lot of other Buffs, like this whole team, didn't really get as much recognition because there's so many question marks with this team and what they're going to do and how they're going to contribute within the Pac-12 landscape. But Travis Hunter, always know is going to be like automatic, great, consistent, and it's good to see him. Honorable mention at wide receiver too, because I think some people saw the spring game and those drives that he had with Shador, like they worked so well together and that chemistry's there. So it's good to see that he got recognition there, and I think, maybe we're a little biased, but that's definitely going to translate into the season, him playing both sides.
Absolutely. It's a pretty loaded Pac-12 first team. Caleb Williams at quarterback. Your running backs are Damian Martinez out of Oregon State, Bucky Irving out of Oregon, Rome Odunze out of Washington at wide receiver. Other wide receivers, Dorian Singer, former Arizona Wildcat, now at USC. Brant Keithy, coming off an injury last year, a season-ending injury. He makes first-team tight end from Utah. Sato. Okay.
You got it.
Let's go.
Sataoa Laumea.
Yeah.
Thank you. He makes the tackle out of Utah. Joshua Gray out of Oregon State. Troy Fautano out of Washington. Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. And Keaton Bills out of Utah. That's your first-team Pac-12 offense. Is there anything that stands out to you about the first-team offense?
Reed for Utah. I personally selected Jalen Conyers of Arizona State. Like, I remember watching him Buff season was the Buff season, but
that game,
like, he was just automatic. Like, him and Valade, like, so powerful, great pass catcher, good blocker. Like, he's everything that you want in a tight end. And I think with just like his seniority and his experience, I thought he would take that place. And, Reed was injured last season, so there's kind of don't know what he can produce, but I know Utah is like Dalton Kincaid, like
right.
They're like a little small tight end university. Like they're so good at producing tight ends. So I think that was surprising to see him there. Love Bucky Irving.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so
he's a tough runner.
He's so good. He's so good. But I don't think any like in terms of surprises.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I had Caleb Williams and Michael Penix as my number one. Bo Nix, honorable mention. I mean, I wonder if Cam Rising could have been an honorable mention too.
Yeah.
Like, I think all of those like quarterbacks are so balanced, and yeah, I guess Shedeur will eventually get that recognition as well.
Right.
But I was wondering if he would even get any like recognition or mention or even land on the list because he was so productive at JSU. But of course, we don't know what the Pac-12 has in store for him.
Right. It's just tough that you only get to vote for 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah. I think everything makes sense, though. Like, Romo Dunze, God, he was also so good. Like, going through, like, all of my picks and, like, I was like, oh, my goodness, I remember this guy and, like, what they did against the Buffs. And I was like, woo, brings me back.
Yep.
All the yards.
What you said about Jalen Conyers, I 100% agree. I voted him second team. Pac-12 tight ends. Benjamin Urosic out of Stanford gets that. Stanford's another team in the Pac-12, kind of a tight end factory. Michael Penix, your quarterback. Jaden Ott, Carson Steele at running back. Jalen McMillan, Jacob Cowing at wide receiver. Now on the offensive line, Jake Levengood, Oregon State. Justin Diedick out of USC. Jonah Monahim out of USC. Jordan Morgan out of Arizona. And Jarrett Kingston out of USC. On the defensive side of the ball, though, of course, Travis makes first team DB. He's in there with Cole Bishop out of Utah, Kalen Bullock, USC, and Katan Oladipo out of Oregon State. Braylon Trice, Leatu Latu at UCLA on the defensive line. Anything on defense that stood out to you when this came out?
I think just like my personal pick was like it was like a toss up between Travis Hunter at 1 and like Keaton Oladipo.
Right.
Oladipo, Oregon State.
I had them 1 too.
Yeah, I had Kitlon. That's his first name, right?
Keaton. Yeah.
I had him at 1, and then like last minute I switched him. I put Travis Hunter at 1. I think just because Travis Hunter is so good, but like Keaton is also like equally. I wouldn't maybe say equally as talented, but you saw his numbers last year. He was so good. There was I guess Bear Alexander. Like I thought he would at least get something on the second team defense, but of course Eric Gentry, like, whew, that guy's a dog. But I thought they'd see.
USC had like 4 linebackers that you could have voted for in the linebacker section. It was crazy.
Like, yeah, I thought Bear Alexander would get on there. I also put that transfer from Wyoming. I put him on my offensive line thing. Emmanuel.
I know who you're talking about.
Emmanuel, I forgot his last name, but he had so much attention in like the recruiting world. I thought like he would have a lot of potential as well.
Right.
Yeah, I think not necessarily any like big surprises though.
No, a lot of transfers though. I noticed that, especially in the secondary. Jabbar Muhammad out of Washington, he's transferring in from Oklahoma State, I believe. Evan Williams out of Oregon, he's transferring in, I believe, from Fresno State or some kind of G5 school. Then, of course, Travis Hunter makes it on the first team. He also makes it as all-purpose player. I mean, he was first team for me. That was probably the easiest selection. There's no player as dynamic as he is in this conference.
Yeah, there really isn't. I mean, I think there was, I'm forgetting names. Remember Oregon? Oh, no, Oregon State. The guy who played 2 ways. He was like a linebacker.
Oh my gosh, Jack something.
Yeah.
What's his name?
If you know who I'm talking about, please put it in the comments.
Yeah.
But
Jack Coletto.
Jack Coletto. When you see a 2-way player, like you can't not put him kind of amongst the higher rankings. Like they're so dynamic, and Travis Hunter is one of those guys that are gonna, I think, surprise people. Like yes, he already has that high ceiling, but like just the plays that he's gonna make, and we're just gonna see something spectacular with him and Shedeur.
Yep.
With the Buffs.
And then Jimmy Horn gets honorable mention return specialist. We also had an honorable mention for Mark Vissett, the punter. After going from one of the worst punting teams in the entire country, now he makes honorable mention, but let's hope they don't have to use him as much this next year.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of punting miscues last year. It was pretty sad.
It was.
But yeah, I mean, I saw when I was like kind of looking at Mark Vissett and I was like doing my write-up for kind of the preseason picks, he received honorable mention all ACC as a sophomore in 2022, and he set the record for punting 52 times for an average of 44.6 yards per punt.
Yep.
So consistent guy, and he has a leg on him. I'm excited to meet him and hear his Australian accent.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna be fun. Another little note: Nico Reed, former Colorado Buff, made honorable mention defensive back. That's pretty much it, though.
I put him on my list too.
Did you? I put Trevor Woods on my list instead of him.
Yeah, I put Trevor Woods on my list. Everyone knows that. I'm a big fan of Trevor Woods.
Be careful. The chat doesn't like that.
I know. He's good.
They'll learn. They'll learn. All right. So yesterday, Neely sent us some numbers from practice, some speed numbers, and we talked about those. Today, we have some more numbers to talk about whenever you're ready, Alyssa. These are kind of power numbers, I guess strength numbers. It's like we talked yesterday about the analytics that they were using. You can see it on the right, that peak power. That just looks like something like a Spark score or something to me. Just some kind of composite score that, kind of compiles everything into one. Here, I'll pull this up for you so you can see it a bit easier.
Even had my contacts in, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Here, just scroll right, and it's all right there. But on the left, jump height. Jimmy Horn jumps out the gym again. Absolutely killing it. And then Ben Finiseth. Where's Andre? Ben Finiseth makes the list. Jaden Milliner-Jones, Roderick Ward, and then Cormani McLean already showing up on these lists. On the offensive side of the ball, Alton McCaskill leads the way. Dylan Edwards, Charlie Offerdahl, Colton Allen, walk-on quarterback, and then Michael Harrison, someone we haven't talked about too much on this show, but has been getting a lot of buzz for maybe becoming the starting tight end for Tim Brewster.
I was gonna bring that up today.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like a blocking scheme, I would like to see him kind of withstand a defensive end because I think that's a big mismatch there.
Right.
Pass catching, sure. He was a wide receiver last year. He got kind of popped into a couple games last year. I mean, Tim Brewster spoke very highly of him, but I also think that the Buffs are searching for a tight end option, and they're kind of just like looking at certain pieces. I mean, there probably is something within Michael Harrison that he sees, like Tim Brewster wouldn't be talking so highly of him, but I haven't seen it firsthand in terms of like, if anyone could be a tight end, it would be Michael Harrison. Like, he wouldn't be necessarily like my first pick.
Right.
Maybe I'd like even put like Javon Antonio, like 6'4" big wide receiver that the Buffs have at tight end, but also it's like in terms comes down to like concepts and skills and what he can pick up. Yeah, that's one I'm like interesting.
Right.
And I'll have to see it firsthand, and I'll see how like that they kind of adjust the offensive line in order to cater to Michael Harrison at tight end. But I mean,
sure.
I would take Passarello over Harrison. Right. Like you need a big guy. You need a big guy to block.
Last year he was listed at Michael Harrison was listed at 6'3", 205. Coach Bruce said he's bulked up quite a bit. But I'm not going to question the decision, but you got rid of Zico because he wasn't big enough. And now you're kind of getting in the business of, converting wide receivers to tight ends already. They just need a tight end, someone to really hold down that position, I think more than anything on the offensive side of the ball as we head into camp. Elijah Yelverton's a guy who, we keep throwing him out there. He was at Iowa, which is another tight end factory. Of course, had to medically retire. I think he's going to factor in quite a bit. Monty's saying Coach Prime literally called Elijah his tight end on Monday. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's
that position feels wide open.
Yeah, it's completely wide open. I think there's a lot of options and like things that they can do, but yeah, like I think one of like the more kind of like shocking departures was Sado. Like he was like that solid like number one guy. We all had him like kind of number one going in, and yeah, I think it ultimately came down to scheme, and we've like talked about it, but now I feel like they're just kind of trying to pull some strings in order to make that position work to their advantage. But hopefully it doesn't leave Shedeur too open, because that could get dangerous.
Yeah.
Have you been watching Quarterback on Netflix?
I abstain from all Patrick Mahomes propaganda.
I do too, and I don't like his voice, but it's been getting me like so excited. It's getting me so excited for football. And like I forgot what episode it was, but it was just showing them like getting hit over and over and over, and Kirk Cousins was just exposed like almost on every play. He was the most hit quarterback in 2022.
Yeah, he got wrecked.
If your offensive line isn't protecting your quarterback, like it can really wear them down. And yeah, if they're hopefully tight end line, that whole front can protect Shedeur Sanders, because if they don't have Shedeur throwing the ball, then it's going to be a precarious situation.
I'll tell you what I have been checking out is that Play Caller podcast from Jordan Rodrigue and The Athletic. I don't know if you heard about that, but it's just kind of going in depth in like the Mike Shanahan coaching tree, like the most recent, figures: Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, LaFleur. That's been fascinating to listen to.
Yeah. I'll check it out. I mean, I love Kyle Shanahan. I'm a 49ers fan, so I'm like, I really respect and appreciate the way that Kyle Shanahan operates an offense and the amount of coaches he's put around the NFL, like D'Amico Ryans, Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniels.
Yep.
Like they're all
Mike McDaniels in that podcast too.
Oh,
it's great.
I love Mike McDaniels.
Yeah.
Anyways, is their jump height just like their vertical?
I'm assuming so. Alton McCaskill looking good there. I mean, this is a guy who, of course, went through a pretty bad knee injury.
Chance Mann was one of my breakout players for this year. He's gotten so strong, and like I think just talking to him, he's so driven and ready to contribute. But I think his work in the weight room has translated a lot. And just with these numbers, it's like, oh, look at Chance Mann putting up some numbers. It's good to see. It's good to see.
Real quick, just to go to the right side, some guys that we've been talking about a lot that have really stood out. Cole Boskia, as a guy who, a walk-on wide receiver. Wide receiver is absolutely loaded. He's been making plays all spring. Tajay McCoy, I don't know if you ever dug into his film when he was in high school. He made a massive jump from junior year to senior season, kind of changed his body, changed his position. And edge is suiting him a lot more. That peak power shows up there in that stat. Kavasier Smoke. We talk a lot about McCaskill, but this 1-2 punch shaping out between him and Smoke looks to be pretty powerful. And then in the bigs down there, Tank performing pretty well. You love to see that with such a large frame, being able to move and push people. And then Shane Cokes, probably the leader on your defense.
And Arden Walker too. I've talked to him. Really nice kid, and I could tell like he has a really strong base. And he has that strength too. I haven't really seen a lot of his clips, but from what we talked about, overall solid guy. Excited to see if, that defensive end, that whole ends group is just stacked. Yeah. So maybe it'll take some time for him to get integrated into the rotation. Yeah, Gearhead says that can't be vertical too low for highest on team. That's a good point. So I don't know what this exactly is. We kind of see them in the videos jumping over the little hurdles and stuff. So I don't know. Ask Neely. We will ask Neely. We'll find out for sure. Shout out to Shedeur's number 2. You guys already know what it is. It's grilling season out there. Hopefully you got some ready for whatever you're grilling up this summer. Have you tried Shedeur's number 2 yet? No, I haven't. You'll have to, because you're the only person that I know. I think I'll be able to help you out here in Vegas in a few days. Shedeur's number 2 is a tomato-based, rich, thick, sweet molasses-style barbecue sauce with tangy vinegar and fiery heat that finishes with a subtle smoky note. You can go to plbse.com. Use the code ALLCITY, all caps, all, or at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your order of Shedeur's number 2. I told you before the show, you have the spirit and the Buffs in your hands. The light? Yeah. What do you want me to do? Yeah. Well, I need you to check in on the spirit of the Buffs. Just. Do I press it? Just there it goes. Wow. It is strong today. How about that? Shout out to Saturday Neon, the company started by 2 friends of former college roommates at CU. They make officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs. They're based out of Denver. They're shipped with everything you need to mount, power, and dim, so every sign is easy to install and operate. They're made with high-quality materials and backed by a 2-year warranty. They've got 18 other select schools, including the Buffs. Go to SaturdayNeon.com. Use the code DNVR for 10% off your order today, and you get free shipping on orders over $200. Oh, this is sick. I'll get my dad one. That? He needs like another
Saturday
thing,
Neon.
another thing for his wall in his basement.
Yeah, they're great for basements, great for man caves, all that good stuff.
Women caves.
Women caves
Come on.
too.
Come on, Jake.
We don't discriminate on this podcast. All right. We're going to media day, of course, and I mean, we'll just talk about it here. But there's some headlines that came out yesterday, specifically about what the Pac-12 and the future of the conference may look like. They announced there's going to be no media deal to come out between now and when Commissioner Kolovkov takes the stage on Friday. Reports are coming out that new bidders are involved. This whole thing obviously has been going on for forever, almost over a year at this point. The press conference with the commissioner is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I
assume.
Yeah, he's gonna certainly get a lot of questions as to why they haven't struck a media deal yet, and like what kind of those inhibiting factors are, and kind of generating that money. And it's such a, it seems so simple for the other conferences, to get Fox and like CBS and all those big sports broadcasting networks, and for some reason like the Pac-12, like they don't have that same lucrative nature as the other conferences, and ultimately it's just such a complex situation because like there's talent across the Pac-12, but there's a reason why USC is leaving, there's a reason why UCLA is leaving, there's a reason why CU is rumored to move to the Big 12. Like you see kind of those dominoes falling within the conference, and the commissioner just seems to not have any answers at this current day and time. Like we've been kind of waiting to see how he's going to kind of resolve these things and save his most lucrative assets, which is like Colorado right now. And for these rumors to be rising, like there's a reason why these rumors are coming to light, is because there hasn't been any progress within getting those lucrative deals into the Pac-12.
Right. Are you planning on grilling the commissioner when he goes up there on the podium?
We'll see. I've never been to this event, so I'm going to see what kind of the vibes are and stuff. And I might sit back for that one, but if I'm feeling like a question, I think I might ask him. But I think the general question is going to be why they haven't struck a media deal yet. And usually like when you're in like interviews and stuff, those ideas and those questions like come immediately to you. So I'm hoping that happens to me if in that scenario, if I were so bravely to ask the commissioner a question.
Right. On the other end of that, it came out yesterday that the Mountain West has welcomed back San Diego State. They've given them that $6 million payment that they were withholding for their exit fee. They've come to an agreement that San Diego State must now just pay the legal fines that came out of the last month when they put out the letter, hey, we're leaving, but we're not really leaving yet. Some great memes came out of that.
Yeah, and they were expecting an invitation from the Pac-12, but the Pac-12 didn't even answer. Well,
the Pac-12 completely left them hanging. They didn't have a deal to offer them, and San Diego State was literally like 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the Mountain West.
Yeah, I feel like before you make a big jump like that, before you do something like that, I feel like you need to have insurance on the other end that you're going to be able to do what you sought out to do. And maybe behind the scenes, I don't know, like there was like some brief discussions, like some guy like, oh, I got you. Like Pac-12 guy's like, I totally got you. And then SDSU is like, what's up? And he's like, actually, no.
Yep. Turned away at the door.
Yeah, I think, that's a program that would definitely need a lot of development in order to get to that Pac-12 level.
Basketball, they're ready.
True.
But everything else, you're right. But, I
think them and Cal are kind of interchangeable right now.
That's fair.
That'd be an interesting matchup.
That's fair.
We got to see them in non-con together.
The Pac-12, though, this was their biggest realignment target, was SDSU. We've been hearing about them for months. Mm-hmm. They completely whiffed. Like, spun around 5 times, fell on their ass. Like, whiffed so bad on this. And the conference is just kind of... I mean, where do you even do at this point? You can get SMU if you want, but now that doesn't feel as significant because that's going to be your headliner. There's no other schools really. I mean, people throw out Tulane, all sorts of other Mountain West schools, Boise State or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But San Diego State, to me, always felt like the most organic fit for this conference.
Yeah.
They were filling something that the Pac-12 wouldn't have after USC and
Southern
UCLA
California,
left.
yeah.
Exactly. And now you don't have that. You have Cal Berkeley now, and I guess
Stanford.
And Stanford, of course. So you have the Bay Area.
Yeah, kind of the Northwest. But yeah, Southern California, it's weird to have, we still have a year, but there's going to be a hole there. And that just, yeah, like you said, it just seemed like the best organic fit, and it fit the needs of what the Pac-12 needed. And it seemed like a mutually beneficial thing, but kind of going back to the Pac-12 and like their financial assets, maybe the bandwidth there wasn't. I mean, also I think the SDSU would be a team that would be like most affordable. Like there's so many elements of that partnership that seemed like it would work out. But there's, if a school is so passionate in trying to get into the conference, there was something that was withholding from the Pac-12 side of things that deal couldn't have been done, because from the outside looking in, it seemed like a really good partnership, and it seemed like it kind of checked a lot of boxes in terms of kind of where the Pac-12 is headed and what they needed to do in order to fill that hole.
Yep.
The Pac-12 is kind of a mess.
Yep. Always has been.
It's like I was talking to Brandon Davis-Swain's coach yesterday, and he's like, yeah, a lot of my guys, like, they don't really usually go out west. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Yep. It's kind of ironic, though, because this is the strongest the Pac-12 has been in quite a while, just in terms of the overall talent.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching in this conference now is way up there. The quarterback play, of course, the skill talent. It's kind of a shame to see it all coming to an end after this year when it feels like they're really finally hitting a peak.
I'm so interested to see like what the commissioner's opening statement's going to be, and like what kind of like Band-Aid proclamation he makes.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, like to kind of appease kind of the media and provide like some answers into what's going on. But us being nosy journalists, it's definitely going to get, I think, some heat.
It is. What are you looking forward to the most?
I think just like, because, I've only kind of been stationed in Boulder and been around this program, but seeing like Lincoln Riley and like Chip Kelly and like all of the coaches and kind of meeting those other quarterbacks. Like I'd love to talk to like Caleb Williams, Bo Nix,
Cam Rising.
Yeah, Kenny
Penix.
Dillingham too. I'm excited to see like what kind of pieces he's putting together. Like, I mean, they're going to be a program that, is going to have to find their footing. They've been like, slowly recruiting. I forgot they got a really. No, he went to Arizona. Never mind. I know they got like that. Yeah, that big 5-star recruit. Different school, different program, but interested to see. Also, like talk to Jalen Conyers too. I'm like.
He's been doing stuff with our PHNX guys. He's got like his own show over there and stuff. So,
sick.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I'm excited for. I'm just excited to meet other people around the Pac-12 because I've never had an opportunity to talk to them like one-on-one and just see, what's going on in their programs.
I'll tell you right now, guys, I'm looking forward to Cam Ward. Just because of, Shador's coming up from the FCS to the Power 5. Cam Ward made that transition last year. Just love to pick his brain and maybe ask him about Shador and just kind of see that transition, what that's like. I'm excited for the head coaches, of course. That's always going to be interesting. Caleb, as you mentioned, is going to be great. And then Jordan Clark, the other ASU player coming, Ryan Clark's son. Yes. So that'll be a good one.
That'll be a good combo.
Yeah. I guess the coach, other than Coach Prime, would be Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's just been through everything in the football world. He's been doing it for so long, so innovative, just being able to pick his mind for a little bit.
Yeah, and see what he's going to be doing with, like, Dante Moore and, like, their whole quarterback situation. Like, what maybe his offense going to look like with just, that freshman talent. Because they're going to start him, right? Like, they haven't...
Dante Moore?
Yeah.
We think so.
Yeah, I think so, too. Seems like they're only... viable option.
Right. They brought in Colin Schlee out of Kent State. So he was Sean Lewis's quarterback last year. But there was quite a drop off from the quarterback before him and when he was the quarterback at Kent State.
Oh.
So Dustin Crum was the really good quarterback they had there.
Something to pick Chip Kelly's brain about.
Yeah, for sure.
And what he's looking like. I wonder if it'll be like a quarterback situation like the Buffs where like everyone's just being rotated and no one knows what's going on.
Don't bring that up. Anything else on Media Day you want to mention?
We were talking beforehand. I wish I wasn't saying until Sunday. That was a really bad decision. But I will be in Vegas until Sunday, roasting and working and maybe some tears. We'll see. I think I'll be able to pick myself up, but none of my friends will be there.
You'll be all right. Shout out to our friends at Backus and Schenker. They're here for you if you get hurt. And they've been helping those in Colorado who have been seriously injured for more than 25 years. No fees to speak with them about your case. No fees while they work on your case. And no fees unless they win your case and win money for you. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. They have neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, and Fort Collins. More than 30 lawyers and 100 people on staff. They help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrian, trucks. We can even help if you're injured at work. Smash the Shador line at 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Schenker wins. Then also shout out to Illegal Pete's. This episode of the DNVR Buffs Podcast is brought to you by Illegal Pete's. Have you shared your Illegal Pete's order on this show yet?
Yeah, I actually went. So I went to Illegal Pete's in Denver, and it was fire. It was like so good. I got a burrito with queso, fajitas, chicken, lettuce, white rice, black beans, green chili. Like it was like leaking, but like it was.
That's the sign of a good burrito.
Yeah,
though.
I was like, it was busting out. It was busting out the tortilla, and yeah, it was really good.
Illegal Pete's is your go-to spot this summer. You can kick back and enjoy an ice cold margarita or a bucket of high noon seltzers for just $22. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Illegal Pete's. Illegal Pete's, your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. And then one more real quick. Shout out to FOCO, the leading manufacturer of sports and merchandise with a product line that includes apparel, accessories, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and more. They got bobbleheads, all kinds of cool stuff. If you need a gift for a sports fan, a Colorado sports fan in particular, FOCO is where you need to go. Baseball season right now. They got Aloha shirts for you, Nikki.
Yeah, I love a good Hawaiian shirt.
Straw hats, polos, bags, everything you need for a game. They always have our back for Colorado sports, and they have yours too. Get the best gear around by using the link in our description for all non-presale items. Use the promo code DNVR, and you'll get 10% off.
Hopefully I can switch my flights around. Really racking my brain here on how I'm going to figure that out.
You'll be okay. All right. Let's do questions. MLN. The other Buffs got shafted. Who votes for these slots? I don't know exactly who votes for them. I assume, I got to vote. You got to vote. Adam probably got to vote. Brian probably got to vote.
Yeah, everyone, voters are selected by their SIDs and, local media that covers that beat. They're, personally selected by the SIDs. So, yeah, it's, people knowledgeable, of that specific team. But I think, ultimately what happened is that people don't know what's going on within Colorado's program in terms of, all these new faces coming in. There's a lot of just nuance with this team. So people don't really know what the Buffs can produce. Other than that, they're getting a lot of talent. But in terms of Pac-12 reporters, they're kind of, I think we all kind of stuck with familiarity and
right.
what guys produced last season within the Pac-12 and what those teams did. So I think, being a reporter that's not reporting on the Buffs, they don't really know firsthand what that talent looks like and how, the whole team works together. So I think that's why a lot of Colorado wasn't really well represented in the picks this year, is because of just the general questions. Yeah, they just don't know.
And they're not putting the effort in to find out at this point in the season.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
Yeah, that's ultimately what happened.
Right. You get the headliner and Travis Hunter, and then everyone else is just kind of I mean, I voted for Des Moines Kennedy. I voted for Shane Cokes.
I voted for Shane Cokes.
Jordan Dominic wasn't on there for some reason.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna be so good.
I know.
He's gonna be so good.
I'm trying to think. I wish Alton McCaskill was on there. He would have got a vote for me as well.
Yeah.
But we'll see. The end of the season, Pac-12 teams will look much different, I think.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I'd throw like maybe Xavier Weaver in there, but we also need to see.
Right,
He's
Weaver.
like one guy that's like, if anything, he would get an honorable mention, but he wouldn't be on like a team quite yet.
Yeah. You can star that comment from G Bad Real. Yeah. The Cormani and Travis one. We can get to that if you want. Next one. Angela, Nikki, Travis, and Shador at Pac-12 Media Day. Who would have been the third player you wanted to see at Pac-12 Media Day from CU?
That's a great question.
It is.
Damn. Okay, I would say Shilo.
Okay. I thought you were going to go with another safety.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Shilo. No, you're thinking I was gonna say Trevor Woods. I think in terms of like a good interview, I'd like to say Shilo. I've never like talked to him one-on-one, and you fill in this question while I pull up the roster.
I mean, I think Shane Cokes would have been a great representative of this university. Obviously, a very smart guy coming from Dartmouth. Played at an all-conference level last year, too. He could have been someone. I would have loved to see Shilo.
Tyler Brown, so sweet.
I love that guy. Yeah, he would have been great at Pac-12 Media Day, too. He probably would have got a lot of new fans.
Yeah, I think people would like Jordan Dominic, too. Really nice guy. Like, he's a good interview as well, and like is really open and honest with us as well.
I mean, we're spoiled. We have so many personalities on this team.
So many new faces to learn too. Like I'm like, let's bring everyone. I need to get to know these people before fall camp starts.
I mean, shoot, you already talked about him today, Arden Walker. I mean, that guy. We've had him on here. We're gonna get him back at some point.
Nice.
But he's awesome to talk to.
Yeah.
Really smart guy. Who else would have been great? Chat says Bishop Thomas, Jimmy Horn, of course.
Bishop Thomas seems like so sweet. I've heard like such like sweet things about him, and he just has like this like really like brightening personality. I think Reggie Young, he has a good story, but I mean in terms of like,
I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah.
All right, Ken, what's all the positions that gets grouped into the combo group? Oh, okay. From the practice stats?
I was wondering the same thing. I was like,
Let me see.
Combo. What does combo mean?
Combo. So we got McCaskill, Edwards, Offerdahl, Allen, Harrison. So it's obviously the running backs and quarterbacks. But then Michael Harrison, too, who might be a tight end. I mean, I usually group running backs in with skill players. But for some reason they're not doing that. I don't know if it's just based on, body types or what it is, but
yeah, maybe it's like combo, like in terms of like foundations or like, maybe like a little bit of like the blocking aspects of things.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm Colton Allen can't block, so I don't know.
If Colton Allen's blocking this season, a lot went wrong. What else do we got?
Almost.
What's that?
Got my laptop wet. With that.
Can't do that before media day. Ken, what position does the guy from England play on the team?
Oh.
The new
linebacker.
From Tennessee, right? Or
Kofi Taylor Barracks.
Oh, Kofi Taylor Barracks. The new linebacker from Tennessee is from Panama, I believe. Is there another Brit on the roster? We lost
other than
Zico.
Yeah. I think that's it. If maybe you know something that I don't.
I don't, unfortunately. Nikki, what Pac-12 coach takes a shot at Coach Prime at Pac-12 Media Day?
Damn. I don't know. It's just like in terms of like, I would say, I don't know. I want to say Kenny Dillingham, but I don't have any reason why other than like they're both like new coaches, and I'm like speaking on like
he just seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, he just seems like a cool guy. I don't think any of them will, but if I were to pick one, it'd be like Kenny Dillingham in terms of like I think the parallel nature of like a new coaching a new team and like kind kind of figuring out like what their coaching approaches are. And I'm only speaking on this because of the new news of like the Oklahoma coach saying that stuff about Coach Prime. And he's like, I did it this way. But yeah, I would say Kenny Dillingham, but don't. Kenny Dillingham, if you're watching this, I think you're cool and I want to talk to you. And I don't think you have anything slanderous to say.
I really don't think it was him.
Who do you think?
Who do I think it was?
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
What?
I thought, no, I was saying, like, answering the question, like, who would take a shot? No, I wouldn't.
I thought you were talking about who took the anonymous shot at him.
No.
You're fine. Scroll up. Someone said what combo was. It was quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, and linebackers. So there you go. It's just like the, I guess, everything but the perimeter players and not the trenches.
Okay.
So
yeah.
What else we got? What's up, Mac Mill? Have we noticed that Shilo took Cormani under his wing in practices and drills? He's always next to Cormani talking to him. I have noticed that, and I love to see that.
Yeah, it's always good to like lift your boys up and kind of show them a little bit of the ropes and kind of routes that you're running and the way that you approach the game. But I mean, yeah, I think Cormani, with his talent and also like everyone around him is in good hands in terms of learning really, really advanced techniques in the back.
I think that's just why Cormani came here. He's already got a ton of friends. The guys already love him. He's hanging out with Dylan Edwards a bunch too. That kind of atmosphere. I mean, I understand why you'd want to come here.
Yeah, and like, I mean,
for
we'll
many
see what
reasons.
happens with like Charles Lester, but it seems like with all of these like big recruiting pickups, it's like always like the secondary that's like, wow, like they've picked up so many talented kind of 4-star, 5-star guys within that group, because who wouldn't want to learn from one of the best who's ever done it?
Travis was asking if you have season tickets, but you're a credentialed reporter.
Yeah, I don't have season tickets. I'm gonna be up in the press box eating my the Coach Prime nachos.
Yeah.
We on the spring game we got food vouchers for Coach Prime nachos, but Dave Platty used to have catering there, and we used to eat a bunch of mac and cheese and Caesar salad.
Yep, some nice barbecue, some breakfast burritos.
I hope they restock the Sierra Mist, because they never had it at the end of the season. Everyone kind of gave up.
It was always rough when it was like after halftime or something, and you get up and you're thirsty and there's no water bottles left.
Yeah, and you're
like, I really have to drink like 2 sodas right
coffee.
now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Clint's live show at Media Day. Stay tuned. You'll find out very, very soon. You'll find out tomorrow. Mac Mill also, can you guys go live in here when the Buffs do their media time? That would be dope. We have you guys covered. We have you completely covered. Jay, what's the story behind the DNVR Coach Primed Ralphie on your gear? Absolutely the coolest independent piece of merchandise on the market. Please don't stop production. Is he talking about the SCO shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. That's an amazing. I mean, D-line is just unbelievable with his designs and what he makes for the shirts. But that's one of my favorites too. Probably my favorite shirt actually from DNVR.
Can I get a shirt?
I'll help you out.
Thanks. I have to put Jake on the spot, or else I won't get what I want.
Maldonado. Yeah, that's Long Beach State. Your dad played baseball there?
Yeah, my dad, he like went to so many colleges in California, but I think he like briefly played. He went to Fullerton, but he did not play baseball at Fullerton. It would have been sick, but my dad played golf.
Oh, okay.
Mostly, but yeah.
RK played golf.
Like in college?
I think so, yeah.
Honestly, like that's the sport to get your kids in, especially like women, because they offer so many scholarships for it. So yeah, I missed the boat with that one, but I am a big golfer now. But yeah, Long Beach State, shout out to my dad. I took this from him, but he also gave it to me.
That's
too.
dope though.
I know. It says, it's sick. I gotta
Does it
show
have
you.
your last name on the back?
No,
Oh.
It just says the beach.
That's
But
so
yeah,
dope.
32 LB.
Hell yeah. Ron, Utah over USC as a bigger game. I mean, it's the last game of the season, so it absolutely could mean more.
The last time USC will be in the Pac-12.
Yes.
I take the USC solely because of that.
And because CU's never beat them.
Yeah. Yep.
So, And also, I think they're probably going to be voted preseason Pac-12 #1 USC.
Mm-hmm.
Winning that game, I think, would just be bigger for big picture for the Buffs. Winning that game over the Utah game.
Yeah, because they play Oregon and then they play USC at home.
Right.
So I think rolling into conference with both of those teams, I think if they beat USC, that'll be certainly a boost in confidence because you never want to. I don't think they're gonna go 1-2 to begin the season. I think they're gonna go 2-1. But
I agree.
Yeah. Winning is part of the formula, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Alex. Oh, God.
Wah, wah. I mean, okay.
You can do this if you want.
Yeah, I think it's like...
You don't have to.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't really care what you say. Well, I do care what you say.
Tell them.
I said I put them fifth.
You're going to be okay.
Yeah, I put, all of, the usual Pac-12 winners. I think it was, USC, Utah, Oregon, and then the Buffs, and then, UCLA, and then Arizona, and then Stanford, and
Where'd
Oregon
you
State.
have Oregon State?
I had Oregon State. Where did I have them? 1 second. It's right here.
I had them 4th, I believe.
Honestly, that's pretty good.
4th or 3rd.
Oof. Yeah, that was a tough one. The 6. So UCLA at 6, Oregon State at 7th, Washington State 8th, Arizona State, Cal, Stanford.
You're going to set the chat off here in a minute.
I had Utah and USC, and then Oregon, and then Washington, actually.
Is the TCU trip still available? Yes. I don't think we are selling the flight anymore, but if you wanted to do the hotel, stay at the hotel with us, do the tailgate with us, of course, go to the game with us. It's all still there. Go to thednvr.com. At the very top on that black bar, go to events. It'll pull down, and it just says DNVR Road Trip. See you at TCU. Check that out.
I'll start putting it back in
Okay. Yeah, well, it'll be in the description, too. G-Bad, are we going to talk about Cormani and Travis going one-on-one? We only saw a glimpse. I mean, did you watch that well off yesterday and see
No, I should watch it.
It's all right. There was a...
I saw their cleats.
Yes.
Those are dope. It's giving Toronto Raptors.
There's a part. They're at practice, of course. Mm-hmm. Cormani lines up at DB across from Travis.
Mm-hmm.
You see them start, and then it cuts.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw that clip on Twitter, but I thought
Yeah.
it just ended and that was it. But maybe they were running specific routes they're gonna do for the fall. But I mean, still, at least maybe come on, Darius, or it was Bucky, whichever one. I'm
it was
let's
well off.
let's see little, maybe
I
a little
know.
bit of that.
I think we'll get a sneak peek at some point, though.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely come soon. Literally fall camp is in 2 weeks ish.
Oh
But
my God.
I wonder if they'll let us watch practice. I feel like they will. Maybe
think-
a couple.
I think we'll get some chances for sure. Leon says Travis most likely ran past him. If you had to bet who won one rep is all you get. Travis at wide receiver, Cormani at DB.
I take Travis because he knows how DBs move.
Right.
And Cormani's a little bit younger. They're both 5-star guys. I think Cormani did, he definitely put the pressure on, but I think Travis won that matchup. Would you say the same?
Yeah, Travis for sure.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
maybe a year or two, Cormani can. Travis is just obviously a little bit further ahead.
Yeah.
So. What's up, Angela? Can NFL guys do 7-on-7 drills with college guys now? I don't think. I think you can go to a park, and if you set it up and you have your own coaches and stuff, why not? I do think this is something that the NCAA may have a rule on or get their hands in, though. I don't think that, obviously you're dealing with college players, but
Russell Wilson was at Folsom. Not the same thing, but
right. I don't think we saw. It'd be dope if Travis is out there running routes, catching passes from Russ, but I don't think that's exactly something they would do, unfortunately. Buffalo Steam. Any updates on the players that joined the team from the JUCO/grad camp? You just talked to
Jeremiah McCrimmon.
Yeah.
Super nice kid. Yeah, he's finishing up summer classes at Cohomo Community College, and he's trying to get to Boulder soon as possible. Yeah, he was the only player out of those camps to receive a scholarship. In terms of walk-ons, like I've been seeing like kind of videos pop up, like Chidobia Awuzie's cousin, Etalk.
Yeah.
Like he popped up, and I was like, oh, he's on the team.
Yep.
So kind of keeping a closer eye on that. But in terms of like scholarship, like Jeremiah McCrimmon was one of the only ones out of the 3 camps to receive a scholarship. But yeah, it was kind of like I think a miraculous thing where his cousin was calling him, and he didn't pick up the phone the first time, and then his cousin called him like a couple more times, and he's like, okay, this is probably like an emergency. And he's like, yo, you should go out to the Colorado camp. And he's like, for sure. And he told me, he was like, even when I was on the plane, like, I know I'm going to go in there and get a scholarship. Like, I don't see it going any other way. So, like, he had a lot of confidence going into it. And, you know, he was looking for another 4-year opportunity. He played at Mississippi State with Mike Leach, legendary Mike Leach.
Yep.
And I asked him about that, and he said
the pirate, man.
he has a lot of respect for him and will never forget him. And he was in disbelief when he passed. But, yeah, we kind of... He's super sweet. I think there's definitely going to be, you know, some growth there and some development, getting adjusted to, I think, the Power 5 again. But, yeah, I mean, Bill Boyle saw something in him, and he said he's flexible at guard and tackles. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the mentality thing you said, too. Already coming in knowing he was going to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Those are the type of guys this camp was for.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he literally got exactly that. I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, love the confidence there. It's kind of just like manifesting.
Right. Alfredi, what is Travis J injury and status? Short answer, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was a leg injury. Obviously, he had that brace on. I don't know how severe it was. But, I mean, it looks like he's progressing pretty well, you know. Coming from having the brace on to now shedding the brace and just kind of being a little bit more involved in practice, but still not, you know, on the field running and being a football player yet. What's up, Luis? Since we're both credentialed media, will you be able to go to the TCU tailgate Friday night meetup? Are you going to Fort Worth?
Yes.
You are.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's tight.
I know. I need to also book that.
I'm sure we'll both be at the tailgate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We'll be at the stadium hours before anyway.
Okay,
so.
I'll probably pop by and like say hi before I have to do the damn thing.
Yep. What's up, Jay? Thanks for the super chat, man. I wonder why only a few guys got cleats. I don't know. I mean, Coach kind of did that with the numbers thing too. So I don't know if that's on that same level. And I did obviously a lot of different styles. Like accent and like the shark tooth design on the bottom too.
Those are dope. I mean, I saw like green and like red ones.
Right. So I kind of think they may just be
an incentive thing.
Well, just kind of trying different like styles out or color combinations out. I guess just to
because if those were like Buffs cleats with like the gold or like even like black and white, like that'd be so hard.
Yeah. Like they're not gonna wear green cleats.
No.
You,
yeah.
so.
No.
There you go. Thanks for doing this. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was another day. I know. I got a busy day today. I need to figure some stuff out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty crazy next few days coming up. Sean says first round's on him when we get to Dallas. Sean's one of our guys.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, man. JB just got an NIL deal. It never stops, does it?
No, there's always some news. I'd like to see some kind of more commitments coming in. I mean, they still have some scholarships, but
that would be
a couple
nice.
times something to talk to Coach Prime about and seeing what they have in the works.
We'll finally get to hear from the man himself.
It's been a long summer. That's why I'm like loving quarterback. I'm just watching it. I'm like, I get chills. Like I literally get chills watching football. Like that's how like football. What's the word? I've just been without football for a while, and I miss it.
You're
and
deprived.
Yeah, football deprived. There you go. Are you football deprived?
Oh yeah, it's July has been crushing me.
Yeah.
I need it.
Like I don't know like who I am anymore. Like what my soul.
Right.
Something's missing.
Yeah. I need it.
I need it.
All right, that was fun. We'll see you out in Vegas. We'll talk to you guys out in Vegas. Stay tuned for a massive announcement tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.